Peace and blessings. Keep up the lessons. Are you ready? We're going to get into this news for today because I'm covering some news with some of the guys, different YouTubers, and them bringing out some updates on what's going on. And we have some good news with the crypto. You know, a lot of good news. So let's get in and listen. Are you ready? Let's get it. Yes, again, your brother Crypto B-Boy back again. Yeah, we're about to get into some news real quick. I want to introduce, of course, this guy. His name is Bryce Paul. I get some updates from him every now and then in my, in my email, and I'm shouting out for him to him and his Crypto 101 group that he does, and he has he basically helps to educate people about the crypto markets and what's going on in different areas and ways that they also can make a passive income and likes of this. So shout out to him, and I'm going to post this video real quick, so just wait and then hang in there with me. Hold on. No, wrong. That's wrong. Sorry. Okay, so just listen in, and hear what he's talking about as far as the updates of what's going on in the crypto space. All right? Just check it out. Gotta click on to this guy's yeah, apologize for that. All right, here we go.
Key because it's a long-term support line that's held for years, okay? And we've been trading under it for the last couple weeks, and we finally regained that as support. Now, that's a very key level. One of the other key things that I'm seeing in the market right now is that at the bottom, there was about 350,000 daily active users on Ethereum. Now, there's about between 550 and 600,000 daily.
Now, for those of you who are maximalists in any kind of area of crypto, please just be open-minded. And he's into Ethereum, but he's into other cryptos, anything that can make money. That's he's into trading and these different types of stuff. So just don't get yourself all caught up in a knot. Just say, okay, yeah, it's crypto. It's a part of crypto. So anything that has to do with crypto going up, crypto having some innovation or adoption coming at it to where it can increase and evolve to the levels that we would like, as not just in the money area, but in technology and all that, and adoption that we want globally, let alone in America. So just bear with him, listen to what he's saying, okay?
Daily active users. That means we've almost doubled the amount of users that are on Ethereum day after day after day. It is so sunny that way. It's loud that way. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to keep going. Guys, so this is a huge move in the market, okay? A lot of people are caught offside. A lot of people are stuck in cash on the sidelines. And guess what? A lot of people have their money locked up in some of these centralized lending platforms that are now going belly up. So who knows when those victims essentially will be able to recoup their losses. So we've also seen Three Arrows Capital, which is one of the largest crypto hedge funds, get wheeled out. They went completely bust, and now there's liquidation proceedings, and so it's all sorts of craziness. But guys, from a fundamental standpoint, we see growth in Ethereum. We just saw Uniswap basically start to trade the same amount of money on a daily basis that Coinbase does. I mean, that's really a huge sign of how mature DeFi has become, right? I mean, DeFi is now being able to support billions of dollars of daily transactions. So it's amazing to see. You know what else I saw this morning? BNP Paribas is one of France's largest banks, and they just announced that they're going to be offering crypto custody services. So this is very bullish. We're getting more institutions equipped. I just saw one of these former executives at BlackRock. BlackRock's $10 trillion asset custody service.
Okay, so there you have it. He's really dropping it about what's going on in the crypto space as far as crypto adoption and innovation. Everything is moving forward. So people who are so afraid and skeptical and have a lot of fear of FUD, a lot of FUD, fear and being uncertain and doubtful in the crypto space or investing into crypto or what have you, whatever you're doing. If you're trying to get into NFTs and all this, and it's at us. It's I call it the crypto wars, and meaning that everything is going through a struggle, and it's a back and forth on different sides. The war is those who are pro crypto and pro pushing it forward in innovation and business and all the things that come with the crypto space. That's those people, like you said, the bulls are back and they're pushing it forward and trying to push it and give it its support. And the support is from due to the people coming in and due to the people adopting and the innovation going forth. That's the support. As we know with the cryptocurrency technological specialist of whether they're developers, network supporters, or they whatever they do in the technological field of the cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, those guys all clearly are doing a lot of work against the systems of the people that are just spectacle, speculating and and talking off their hips sometimes, like certain congressmen and against, or certain people in government offices like the Treasury. You got some of them top people, and you got different people like especially SEC issue that's going on against Ripple, XRP. These people have been, for a while, Gary the Goon Gensler pushing against, cryptocurrency on a level of that what they it's like a vague and basically it's not clarity. It's not a clarity. We've been speaking about this. There's no clarity there as far as regulatory clarity. It's enforcement and through regulatory enforcement and other than trying to get some clarity. And this is the point. So they're doing what they're doing. This is like what I consider warfare. It's pulling from both sides and fighting and going against each other. And that's all. And our system, our infrastructure, the financial infrastructure that's what's going on. There's the traditional part of the financial infrastructure in America, or they're not even talking about globally. And then there's the newfound digital currency way of finance right now that's trying to enter into the mainstream and get their place and put themselves and fit in like the different assets that we know of, that we've known of for many years traditionally, and who has been controlling them? The top elites, the top money making, the most richest people, and they're a minority. They don't want the majority of every regular people to be able to get in that place. So digital or decentralized finance has come to be a way for people to come in, and we've been speaking this. This is something that's not new, but the point is, it's going forth. So I want to give you a little run through of what's going on in the government, which is the House committee. They was doing an overview or oversight committee meeting with the director of SEC. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. They might say his name later, but they speaking about some of the issues, and I'm gonna give you a couple of clips. All right, listen. Just hold on for a sec. This thing gets on my nerves here. I be trying to grab it, and it comes up the wrong way. Give me a sec here. I'm gonna lock that up. I'm gonna lock that up. No, unlock that. There we go. Okay, so ready to interact. And there we go.
Last 4 years, in the 14 months since you were sworn in, since he was sworn into office, Chair Gensler has charted a path for the SEC unlike any other time in its 88-year history, from an agency that has a mission to
protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and to facilitate capital formation. Those three things, let me repeat that. Protect investors, we all agree on that. Maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, we all agree on that. But to facilitate capital formation, that seems to have been something that has fallen off of his radar in many ways. And he's embarked on one of the most ambitious rulemaking agendas in our modern era since we've had the SEC. To put this in perspective, the SEC's past three chairmen issued half as many proposals in their first 14 months compared to the current chairman. The flurry of activity is evidence that the rapidly evolving enforcement and regulatory landscape at the SEC is an indicator of things to come. I don't think it's going to slow up. In the past, increased enforcement activity at the Commission has signaled that they will act aggressively, pressing the boundaries of their enforcement authority. So of note, it looked no further than the SEC's announcement this past May to nearly double its crypto enforcement unit. While the Commission does not intend to provide any clarity surrounding the application of securities laws to digital assets, the unit plans to focus on violations related to crypto asset offerings. So crypto asset exchanges, crypto asset lending, and
Now this is Mr. Huzenga. Huzenga, I think his name is. But you know, he's speaking clearly and the truth. These are what these guys are doing, been doing the SEC, and they're not focused on the retail, protecting the retail investors, rights and their own investments that they're investing into these digital currencies or digital assets, if you want to say better. Okay, so basically this is what it is regularly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, it's frustrating. That's all I can say. It is really frustrating.
Staking products, decentralized finance platforms, non-fungible tokens, stable coins, et cetera, et cetera. So it's worth mentioning that of the 63 items included in the agency's rulemaking agenda this past spring, exactly 0 pertain to digital assets. In addition to the division's proactive enforcement efforts, your words, not mine, the SEC continues to use its own administrative law judges to adjudicate enforcement actions, a controversial decision that has been used increasingly over the past decade. In a recent court decision, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals noted that Congress has unconstitutionally delegated legislative power to the SEC when it allowed the Commission to decide when to use these ALJs. And coupled with the SEC's own admission earlier this year that there was a control deficiency related to the separation of the SEC's enforcement and adjudicatory functions with serious ramifications regarding the fairness of prior SEC enforcement actions for the party subject to those actions. So finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the one person who is not here this morning, the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Chair Gensler, but I know he is...
Gary the Goon Gensler, not there. Why? Well, anyway, let it go on.
Paying attention. So, Chair Gensler, while I appreciate you allowing Director Grewal to come in before the subcommittee, I can't help but mention your absence and request your attendance. So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to submit two letters from Ranking Member McHenry and myself, one dated October 6th, 2021, and the other May 5th of 2022, requesting Chair Waters to hold a hearing with all 5 of the SEC commissioners. It's now been nearly 3 full years since we last heard from the commission, and since then, Chair Gensler has proposed 23 rules that await adoption. I think it's long overdue. So, Director, let me caution you with this last word. We should not evaluate the true effectiveness of the regulatory agency or its enforcement program solely based on how many headlines it can generate. That is true of any federal or state regulatory.
Director, who has fought for years as an Attorney General on behalf of the people of New Jersey. Director Grewal, welcome to the committee and thank you for your years of public service.
Thank you. Today we welcome the testimony of our distinguished witness, Mr. Gurbir Grewal, who is Director of the Division of Enforcement at the Securities and Exchange Commission. Previous to that, he was Attorney General of the State
Division of Enforcement. Throughout its 85-year history, the SEC has stayed true to its three-part mission of protecting investors.
Yeah, right. Not really. That's just what they say. But let me move on. I'm going to see. I wanted to get to this real area, this main area where he was questioned by one of the committee representatives. He spoke already. Let's see what he's saying.
Et cetera, et cetera. And unless there's some secret plan to make sure he's in September, he's not going to be here, maybe not even for the rest of this Congress. So that will be over a year since we've seen the director. So, I'm sorry, since the chair. So, Director Grewal, concerned about a couple of things, and I'm going to try to hit this quickly. Unprecedented attempts by the SEC to slip drastic market-changing interpretations of securities laws into otherwise routine enforcement cases. And two, the lack of internal consistency when it comes to the SEC's own ideas about basic foundational elements of market regulation. In a recent case, the SEC, rather than relying on decades of existing case law and legal precedent, presented a case in which it defined a, quote, dealer as, quote, any business that purchases and sells securities for its own account, close quote. So if I'm interpreting this correctly, it quite literally means that every market participant in the country, which means under the SEC definition, regardless of their business model or current regulatory regime, they would somehow now be subject to a widely different and inappropriate, in my opinion, regulatory framework. That quickly, overnight. So, and that's not all. At the same time, in the same SEC, there's a controversial proposal underway in which the SEC is attempting to dramatically expand the definition of this core term, dealer, but this time, a wholly different manner than how your enforcement team defined the term. So two different definitions being presented by the same SEC are in fact wholly inconsistent with each other. So it seems to me that the SEC is frankly brazen about it and thinks that it can rewrite the most basic of the elements of securities law whenever it wants to fit whatever purposes it needs at the current moment, with no regard to the effect on markets, the economy, or even internal consistency. And I'm a guy from Michigan, so I think in car terms, right? This is a little like we're asking people to build a car, but we won't tell them what the speed limit's going to be. We won't tell them what the car should or shouldn't do, what the safety products ought to be on it, but we're going to determine that later. And we're just going to mail you a ticket for speeding. Well, we've got
Now, getting what he's saying, because the time's going by, I don't want this video to go too long. I was getting it, and I also listened to Crypto Airy, and she had posted the same kind of clip or same kind of footage of this committee meeting, and I was trying to find more dealing with in a detailed manner to what were they talking about, as far as where were they coming from, as far as with the XRP. And then what I got out of what I've heard on her video, shout out to her, and what I was listening on my own, was that they were trying to really like straighten out the SEC, because a lot of the stuff they're doing is underhanded. They gave, or Henson, he gave, which is a controversy over that, gave Ethereum and Bitcoin a pass in his speech, and then now they're going back and forth, with the bull crap about, whether it was what he was talking about was only for his personal position, all right, his personal ideas, or his personal perspective of whether what is a security and what is not, according to the that rule that they have. So I can't remember the name of it. It's very vague, but right now I can't get it off my head. But then you're dealing with that he was saying that with XRP, there was nothing mentioned of that it, or giving it a pass, and Ethereum fell into the same basic requirements of needing to be a security. But how did they get a pass? So all the bull crap, and that's why I say bull crap, because they play that game, and they playing these word games, and they playing all that stuff that politicians do as well. and all of these people in high offices and high places in the powers that be, you know. And they played too many games, and some of a portion of them, and I'm not all against. I'm not anti-government or anti-politicians or whatever. I'm against corruption of any of them. So that's me. You understand? So if you're corrupt wherever, even if in judicial system as well, and policing agencies and enforcement, law enforcement, you got to go. You can't be there because you're gonna you know you're gonna do your position. You're gonna be in your position, and you're gonna be nefarious in your actions because you're already corrupt as a person. So let alone your position, your status in whatever position you are, and you're supposed to be doing your job. No, but you're going to do it nefariously. You're going to be doing it for only yourself and to get over, and certain few chosen people that are with you, and do whatever it takes to get whatever you're getting out of, being corrupt, and not allowing everybody to have their rights, or doing your job fully, clearly, without any corruption. And that's just what it is. But anyway, I went a little bit too long with the video. The next time I'll probably bring up a little bit more information about this, and then some other stuff that I wanted to bring out. But now I don't have the time. I got to get ready for work eventually. But I just wanted to give you as much news as I can, and I hope that you benefit from it. And of course, don't forget to click the like button for this video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to me. I got more coming. I'm going to be doing a lot more as much as I can as time goes on, trying to fit stuff in my schedule. I'm a working man. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Well, husband first, father second, because my children came after my wife. So, you know what I mean? So I just have to do what I got to do, and everybody's busy like normal. So I can't dedicate all my time to, giving you guys all the different content that would be beneficial to you. And that's my position, is to benefit you out of my content, not just to talk. It's just to benefit you, that you're going to learn something, and it's going to better you, and make you make the proper maneuvers in the crypto space and business, business maneuvers, because I give as much as I can, business hinters and business, things to do that I've done or I've been through, and experiences that I've been through, so you won't fall into making those mistakes, or make maneuvers that will help you from what ideas that I've learned to do to help you to better yourself in your business, whatever, or investing into any asset, really pretty much, because I've learned about asset investment and economics more with the crypto, space, and the people who are predominantly in teaching and educating and bringing a lot of awareness of crypto and digital currencies and the whole nine. Okay, blockchain technology, all of that, fintech, whatever. So it deals with finance. It is the new way of finance, digital finance. So basically, it's part of economics on a new level, on a newer level. So I've been growing and learning, and I'm still learning, but I've gained a lot, and I got more to go, but just come along with me. All right. So again, share the video too. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, your boy, Crypto B-Boy, over and out. Are you ready? Let's get it.